Let's define what is global city. World cities or global cities are the command and control centers of the global economy. That is, they are nodal points that function as organizing centers for the interdependent skein of material, financial, and cultural flows that together sustain contemporary globalization. The most commonly identified examples of world or global cities include major centers such as London, New York, Tokyo, Paris, and Hong Kong. The term has its origin in research on cities carried out during the 1980s, which examined the common characteristics of the world's most important cities. There are reasons why global city exists. The rise of global cities has been linked with two globalization-related trends. First, the expansion of the role of transnational corporation or TNCs in global production patterns. Second, the decline of mass production along 4D lines and the concomitant rise of flexible production centered within urban areas.
According to our local authors here in the Philippines, there are some attributes of a global city which include seat of economic power. Seat of economic power determines which cities are global. Sasson remains correct in saying that economic power largely determines which cities are global. For example, New York may have the largest stock market in the world, but Tokyo houses the greatest number of corporate headquarters. Shanghai may have a smaller stock market compared to New York and Tokyo, but plays a critical role in the global economic supply chain ever since China has become the manufacturing center of the world. Shanghai has the world's busiest container port, moving over 33 million container units in 2013. Kaya lahat ng gamit mong made in China ay dumaan sa container port na ito. The next one is the economic opportunities. Economic opportunities in a global city make it attractive to talents from across the world. Since the 1970s, many of the top IT programmers and engineers from Asia have moved to the San Francisco Bay Area to become some of the key figures in Silicon Valley's technology boom. London remains a preferred destination for many Filipinos with nursing degrees. Kapag sinabi nating economic opportunities, ay nag-a-attract dapat yung city mo ng mga tao from different parts of the world. Ibig sabihin, nagtatrabaho sa city mo ang mga foreigners because they find economic opportunities sa bayan mo. The third one is economic competitiveness. To measure the economic competitiveness of a city, the Economist Intelligence Unit has added other criteria like market size, purchasing power of citizens, size of the middle class, and potential for growth. Based on these criteria, tiny Singapore is considered Asia's most competitive city because of its strong market, efficient and incorruptible government, and livability. It also houses the regional offices of many major global corporations. Number 4. Center of authority. Global cities are also centers of authority. Washington may not be as wealthy as New York, but it is the seat of American state power. People around the world know its major landmarks, like White House, Capitol Building, Supreme Court, Lincoln Memorial, Washington Monument. Similarly, compared with Sydney and Melbourne, Canberra is a sleepy town and thus is not as attractive to tourists. But as Australia's political capital, it is home to the country's top politicians, bureaucrats, and policy advisors. The fifth one is the political influence. The cities that has major international organizations may also be considered centers of political influence. The headquarters of the United Nations is in New York, and that of the European Union is in Brussels. An influential political city near the Philippines is Jakarta, which is not just the capital of Indonesia, but also the location of the main headquarters of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. Powerful political hubs exert influence on their own countries as well as on international affairs. The European Central Bank, which oversees the euro, is based in Frankfurt. A decision made in that city can therefore affect the political economy of an entire continent and beyond. And the last but not the least, Center of Higher Learning and Culture. Finally, global cities are centers of higher learning and culture. A city's intellectual influence is seen through the influence of its publishing industry. Many of the books that people read are published in places like New York, London, or Paris. The New York Times carries the name of New York City, but it is far from being a local newspaper. People read it not just across America but also all over the world. One of the reasons for many tourists visiting Boston is because they want to see Harvard University, the world's top university. Many Asian teenagers are moving to cities in Australia because of the leading English language universities there. Education is currently Australia's third largest export, just behind coal and iron ore and significantly ahead of tourism. In 2015, the Australian government reported that it made as much as $19.2 billion from education alone.
Kalinga setting example. Tabuk City in Kalinga is a cultural and natural gem celebrated for its deep-rooted indigenous heritage, particularly that of the Kalinga people, whose customs, social structures, and beyond batok tattoos reveal a rich tapestry of identity and tradition. Visitors are drawn to Tabuk not only for its vibrant cultural experiences, including storytelling and traditional rituals, but also for its breathtaking natural landscapes, from the towering Mount Matingoy Denial to serene waterfalls and terraced rice fields. The city's cuisine adds another layer, blending traditional Kalinga flavors with creative twists, making it a destination that harmonizes heritage, adventure, and culinary exploration. Together, these attributes position Tabuk as a unique cultural and ecotourism hub, echoing qualities of a global city in its ability to attract and connect with people. Example for the Philippines is the Manila, the capital of the Philippines, is the country's center for economic, political, social, and cultural activities. Located on Luzon Island along Manila Bay, it has been the primary city and industrial hub for over 4 centuries. Manila is also the Philippines' main port for international trade, with most imports and exports passing through its port. The city hosts major financial institutions, including the Development Bank of the Philippines, the Philippine National Bank, and the Philippine Stock Exchange, all of which support economic growth and investment in the country.
International setting example. John Friedman analyzed how globalization has transformed the world's economic structure, identifying world cities as central points for global control. These cities serve as economic and social hubs that organize and influence worldwide production and capital, concentrating power and wealth in limited core zones, which reinforces global inequality. Examples of core cities include New York and London, which are primary command points in a global economy. Other cities like Miami and Berlin project global influence in more specialized ways.
Advantages of Global City to the Kalinga Philippines society. We have economic growth. Kalinga's economy is growing, with industries like agriculture, construction, and services seeing positive changes. This leads to more jobs and opportunities for residents. Second, infrastructure development. Projects like the Farm-to-Market Road in Tabuk City improve transportation and connectivity, making it easier for farmers to transport their goods. Third, cultural enrichment. While some traditional practices like tattooing are changing, they are evolving, reflecting the influence of globalization while still maintaining a sense of identity. Disadvantage: environmental impact. Climate change is affecting agriculture in Kalinga, leading to challenges like shorter growing seasons and declining water supply. This impacts food security and contributes to poverty.